Hajimemashite, Boku wa JD desu. Hey, YouTubers. Often we find ourselves judging other people or overlooking what should be obvious because, you know, we kind of narrow our worldview down to our experiences. And I suppose that's normal. I'm guilty of it, but not like in a way where it's judgmental. More of in a way of like I think anyone can do anything I can do. This example, when I was I have no clue, maybe in the first or second grade, I remember not being able to read the blackboard. And you know, it was just, I don't know, like to me it was normal. I just couldn't see the blackboard. I was able to read, I had that ability, I just couldn't see that far. The blackboard, you know, I was, I don't know, 5 or 6 rows back, I guess. Maybe I think I was in the back. What was it, like maybe 20 kids in the class back then? So I was either in the back or I was very close to the back row. And I just thought, well, that's normal, you know, we can't see that far. And typically I would, you know, after the lesson was over, I would go up and take whatever notes. And no one noticed, you know, like the teacher should have noticed that I was going up and writing down what she had put on the chalkboard. And it was, I know it was like another school year. And I was placed in the very back. I don't know why, because, you know, you're seated randomly, I suppose. I have no idea how that worked back then. And it was the first day, and she'd written her name on the board. You know, I have no memory of who it was or what she wrote, except that it was her name. And her first... like, she introduced herself, and, you know, we'd have a great school year and blah, 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 blah. And then she said, does anyone have any questions? I raised my hand, and there was an empty seat in the very front row. You know, now I know most likely it was an absent student, you know, another child that was not in class that day. I asked if I could sit there, and she was like, well, you know, why is that? Do you not like being in the back? You know, do you feel left out? And I was like, no, I just, you know, since no one's sitting there, I'd like to sit there so I could read the board easier. And, you know, thinking about it now, I realize that I didn't ask to sit in front before, because then, well, someone else would have to move to where I am. So I didn't want to be selfish and ask someone else to move to where they couldn't see the board so that I could. But like that, in retrospect, that was just a lack of knowledge on multiple people's parts, my part being included, because I didn't know I was supposed to be able to read that board, to see that far. Well, this teacher, and you know, I think it was in the second grade or third, asked me, you know, was like, well, can you not read it from where you are? And that's when it, you know, is recommended that I go get my eyes checked. And of course I needed glasses. My battery's running dead, so this is going to be part 1 of this video. I'll most likely continue. It's always a good practice to you know, think about someone else's experience, to think about, you know, how you can misconceive their world or they could misconceive yours. Because we live on the same street, but guess what? We might actually see the world, like literally see the world in a different light.